Should you go for a new property or a resale property along the East Coast specifically? So many people deliberate on this a lot. Buyers from all walks of life want to be able to understand the balance between buying new and waiting it out, or renting at the same time, or just going straight to resale. So every area has different attributes or different features for you to understand a bit better, so that you know what you're entering into. It's going to be a good investment, right? So let me show you this example between Amber Park and One Amber. So Amber Park launched in about 2019. One Amber would have been 9 years old by then, right? Almost 10 years old. But you see the price gap between Amber Park, which is the top, the blue line. They launched at average here about 2005 per square foot for the 3-bedroom units. I'm just looking at the 3-bedroom units here right now. For One Amber, actually at that point, they were still selling at about 1,006 per square foot. So we always have this notion about whether buying new or buying resale, which one can give you better gains. From a layman perspective, buying new would mean that you're coming in at the first mover advantage, right? So then there is more growth for capital appreciation. But does it apply for every area? That's a question mark. So here is Amber Park, where they launched at 2005 per square foot, and then they started selling this year, TOP year, at 2009 per square foot. Based on this, we're looking at about 18.62% growth in terms of the gains within 4 years, which is quite impressive. But if you look at One Amber, right, same thing, also a freehold project, but by the time Amber Park launched, it was already 9 years old. Now it's already 14 years old. So One Amber was selling at about 1,006 per square foot at that point in time. But today, ever since Amber Park has TOP, the price has gone up to about 2,002 per square foot. And if you look at the percentage jump alone, that is 38%, and it's quite significantly more than Amber Park. So in this case, does new always make the most sense? I think that's the question. So if we look at the exact profits for 3 bedrooms at Amber Park, that TOP this year, for a 1099, I look at the bigger 3-bedroom unit, the profits for 3-year holding period is about 580. In this case, for One Amber, bigger unit, probably a better layout, the profits is actually at 920 for a 5-year holding period. So I'm looking at about a difference of 1 year plus in terms of holding period, which right now it doesn't really make much of a difference. So in this case, actually One Amber make more profits than the other. So we also want to understand what is the difference and what are the buyers in East Coast looking for. So one, I think it's size of the unit. Between 1109 and 1453, 1453 is a little bit more efficient in terms of the layout, where it can cater easily for helper because there is a yard, there is a home shelter at the back as well. So in terms of school-going children and having a helper, then the 1453 is much better. Second thing I want to point out to you is, at this point, when this buyer bought a 3-bedroom here in 2017, the price was actually 1.88. But at the same time, for a smaller 3-bedroom, the entry price is really 2.2 to 2.4. So in terms of coming in as an investor or even for own stay, the quantum for One Amber was a bit cheaper in a sense. So then today, if you enter Amber Park at 3.25 million, right, you could have gotten a bigger unit at 2.8, and that's a 400k difference. So entry price is important as well. And of course, I mean, for both the units here and what we have understood so far, the buyers here are mostly middle-aged to older generation who have the perception that freehold status is always the best. So the next question is, if you're looking at Emerald of Katong today, would 99 years or freehold make more sense? This is another graph to show in the OCR region how much the freehold developments and the 99-year developments have performed so far. If you look at since COVID year, freehold properties, the one in blue, has gone up about 27.9%, but 99-year properties have actually gone up more. So whether 99 years or freehold, I think it depends really on the time horizon that you're looking at in terms of your investment. For 99-year properties today, it's appreciating a bit more because of 2 reasons. One, there's more supply for newer 99-year developments today. And 2, in terms of the quantums to enter for HDB upgraders, it's a bit more reasonable, a bit more palatable for especially HDB upgraders to come in and enter the market at a cheaper per square foot basis. So more importantly, choosing the right project and the right unit will help you make the most whether you're buying for own stay or investment.